Cecil Global and African Diaspora News Channel presents the Ghana Luxury Property Tour. It will be a 8-day tour coming to you starting October 1 through October 8, 2023. Now, you enjoy a 5-star stay at a hotel, the finest properties in Ghana. You connect with industry professionals. You will also visit cultural landmarks, have a meet and greet with the team, and so much more. Make sure that you go to the description box below and hit that link to sign up.
Well, Charlamagne Tha God spent a couple of days in Accra, Ghana. And in as much as he loved the country, he loved the people, he loved the experience, there's one thing that stood out for him and he just couldn't wrap his head around it.
Let me tell you something about service in Ghana.
Yeah.
It is the nicest, most terrible service you will ever receive.
Talk to me.
These people are so nice. These people are so loving. When they say welcome home, they really mean that. You ever walk into your parents' house and they're like, "Oh, happy to see you,"
Yeah.
but ain't nobody doing for you.
Yes, yeah.
You got to do it. You have to go do everything that they're not gonna fix your plate. None of that. The service is terrible, but they're so nice about it that you can't even give it.
Yeah.
So,
but then you're like, well, this is why your economy is like this.
I guess, but the check is fine. But when you got to wait 2.5 hours for food,
Oh, no, that's great.
3 hours for food,
No, that's great.
and this is when I was told to come to this place because it would be prompt service.
Oh, wow.
But other than that, I mean, I put it like this: the wait is worth it. I only had that experience in one restaurant. Every other time I had to wait, it was like room service. And then once you understand that they move on their own time,
Yes.
then you just
What time would you call that?
shut up. I did think.
Let me tell you, you will enjoy your experience in Ghana, save for one thing. One thing that will follow you like a fly everywhere you go, unknowing you and almost threatening to ruin your experience. Now, it helps if you have it at the back of your mind, because if you don't have it, it comes off as a rude shock. There are places where people are aware of it and are working on it. There are places where people are ignorant towards it, and the places where people are defensive and will not hear anything you have to say. What could this thing be that can just frustrate anybody from the diaspora moving or living in Ghana? Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome. I love having this chat with you guys. So far, let me know what you think. My name is Ndiro Ganga. I am a business journalist and a content creator. I am a Kenyan, but I moved to Accra, Ghana 2 years ago. And so far, I call it the Valley of Death. They're extremely good days and they're extremely rough days. But when you begin living here, particularly for 2 years, then you get used to it. So sometimes when I see people complain about something, I'm like, okay. Oh, it still exists. I got used to it. So December is such a vibrant time in Ghana. We call it Dirty December. Everybody is here. Everybody. If you're not in Accra, Ghana, where are you? What are you doing? So, December has been trademarked as the place to be in Ghana, right? And like I said, everybody's here. All the celebrities are here. All the important people are here. All the big and important parties on the continent are here. Afrochella, Data Rave, Afro Nation, all of them, mention them. They're always in Accra, Ghana. And that brings people on the continent in Accra, Ghana, and they're looking forward to have a great time. Now, there's so many things that are very fantastic about Ghana. We'll do another video on that. But today I wanted to touch on something that I think is holding us a little bit back. And if we worked on, we could get far, far ahead in the tourism space and encouraging people to visit, not just for reconnecting with the motherland and the ancestors' bed, but to have a good time and enjoy the experience. So when Charlamagne Tha God was here, there's a restaurant that invited him to just, he's a big deal, media personality, influencer. It would be nice to have Charlamagne Tha God at your restaurant, and if he gives great reviews, it could do a good one for your business. And so they invited him and he went. He was kind enough to honor the invitation. Mark you, they invited him, and when he went, he waited 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, close to over an hour. The food was not out, and he had to call and say, what's up? What's happening to the food? That's when later on the food game.
But the check is fine. But when you got to wait 2.5 hours for food,
Oh, no, that's great.
3 hours for food.
No, that's great.
And this is when I was told to come to this place because it would be prompt service.
Oh, wow.
But other than that,
This is nothing new. Also in December, there was a viral video by Ivy Prosper. She went out and she was given a dirty glass. A dirty glass. And it just speaks a lot to the quality of customer service in Accra, Ghana. And I wouldn't necessarily say in many parts of the continent, because there are African countries where customer service is top notch, particularly in the service industry. Now, Charlamagne Tha God, obviously he went on a podcast and spoke about it, and it's been trending in Ghana, and people are so divided. But the truth is, customer service here sucks. I don't know if you've been in Ghana. Let me know what your experience with customer service is in the comment section. Now, why am I telling you this? Because sometimes, one, people might gaslight you and tell you this is now America, blah, blah, blah. These are the people that are in denial. We all know that customer service sucks. And if you're going to paint your place as the ideal place to be, telling people, please come, have a great time in Accra, Ghana, then level up your service. You know, when I come, can I be greeted by people who are happy and ready to do their job? Can you get my order right? That's the other thing. When you order, first of all, when you look at the menu, forget the menu, just ask what do you have. Because most of the time you'll find that these restaurants do not necessarily have what they have put on the menu in the kitchen. So they have to sort of find something else for you. And sometimes they'll not necessarily tell you what they are going to bring out. So you might order chicken, and guess what comes out? Beef. And when you say, I did not necessarily order beef, you'll be told, well, we've already served it, we can't take it back, so you just have to eat it. There's that. You go to a restaurant, you have to clean the table yourself. You know, you have to, like Ivy Prosper was given a dirty glass. How do you expect tourists to keep coming in to have a great experience if you're not taking good care of them? It's the food industry. If people cannot eat, if people cannot get good service, then it just makes the trip very hard to enjoy, right? And then there's this thing where you get extremely overcharged, particularly in restaurants. One, there are 1,000,001 taxes that are billed when you eat out. And two, just eating out is not very cheap. Now, locals do not necessarily eat out a lot. They eat in choppers or they cook at home. But I feel like there's some exorbitance when it comes to eating in Accra. Everything is just so overpriced. And particularly when you want good service. If you want a decent place with decent service and decent food, you're going to pay through your nose. And this is some of the things. Charlamagne was so kind in just going about it very respectfully. But people have spoken about this so many times. And it's high time that the service industry picks up pace, because you cannot go after a customer for giving you feedback. If anything, you should be very grateful that they trust you enough and they care about your business enough to give you feedback. Take it in and then do your due diligence, so the next time they come, it's better. Same thing applies to Airbnb. The quality of the service that they offer is horrible. One, Airbnbs are super overpriced, right? And because of the pricing issue, many people are opting to stay in hotels, because I'm not going to stay at your Airbnb, pay for all these charges. You've overpriced the house, pay for all these charges, and then as my host, you don't have a great rapport, you don't have any etiquette or courtesy. People were staying in hotels, and that means that locals are losing out on business. Charlamagne Tha God is not the only person who's spoken. There was also a lady that was here most recently. She was bullied a lot, so I'm not necessarily going to mention her name so that people can go spewing more hate. But she said some things that she was very uncomfortable with the place. And like popular TV presenters were coming at her and saying a lot of things. And I'm like, take it in as feedback. These people are not necessarily mad. They do not hate you. They do not hate your country. They're not coming from a bad place. They're giving you feedback so that you can process it. Process the feedback and then do better. And it's not just Charlamagne Tha God or the lady. I mean, comedian Michael Blankson has spoken about some of these things very, very many times, from overpricing to systems not working, to just frustration by government agencies that they should be helping him, and instead they are far more invested in frustrating every single effort that he puts in place. Now, why did I do this video? Because you might be thinking of visiting Ghana. You might be thinking of moving here. And many videos that you will see online will show you flowers. And there are those amazing aspects. But I feel like challenges are very important to talk about, because you could be moving, and because you've seen this video, then you say, okay, if the food business is this challenge and it has a challenge with customer service, then what can I do? What solution can I offer? And many people from like the diaspora community are beginning to cater to these challenges. There's certain restaurants that you go that are run by people from the diaspora, and you will see a big difference. The way they train their staff, the way the staff will speak to you, the way they'll receive you, the ambience of the restaurant, the location. There's a location where they're on the rooftop and the view is just amazing, and it's very peaceful and very serene, and the food is also very good at reasonable prices. So before you come at me with all the negative comments, look at it also from the upside, that there are people who they hear about challenges and they think of solutions. And when they come up with these solutions, then we applaud them. And they're making businesses and money out of it. I mean, they haven't packed their bags and left Ghana to mean the business is doing good and it's profitable. So I mean, like, people are coming for Charlamagne Tha God, and people have been attacking people who come to Ghana and sort of share the downside of their experience. But if somebody just came and just shared the good, I would doubt them. You're lying if you tell me you didn't find one thing that did not necessarily work for you. And I'd rather people who share their feedback honestly and genuinely, so that locals and businesses can know how to improve and how to do better. Guys, share your experiences in Ghana, whether it was with customer service, whatever experience that you had that might have been challenging. Because also for people who are visiting, it's important to be prepared and know that this is some of the challenges that you'll encounter. And when you're prepared, then it doesn't knock the wind out of you. I always joke and tell my partner that if you're very hungry, don't go out, just cook at home. Because it will take the same amount of time for food to come out of the kitchen as it will take for you to cook. But again, when you know this, then you begin to look for places where maybe the service is better. And then you begin to appreciate these places more. You patronize them more. You tell people about them, so that businesses that are getting right can continue getting it right. And also people who might be watching can see it as a business opportunity and ask themselves, what can we do when we get into this market? Here are the challenges, and how do we provide a solution? Guys, it's been fantastic chatting with you. The comment section is always open. Talk to me, like this video, share it with a friend, and I'll see you next time. But before I leave, again, my name is Diaspora Ganga. I'm a business journalist and a content creator. I have my own YouTube channel. We talk about travel, life, and love. Everything like a perfect cocktail. And I'm doing this amazing series called Diaspora Stories, where I interview people who are returning back to Africa from, America, Europe, you name it. And they're just sharing their real-time relocation experience, the ups, the downs, the pain that they've gone through, the joy of living on the continent. And I think it's important that we hear these stories from people who've lived through these experiences, so that if you're planning to move, you know what is waiting for you. Thank you guys for watching. Ta-ta.